Howdy doody y'all from Texas. It's a mower video today. How could you have guessed? And today I'm using my Toro Recycler Max, my 163 Recycler Max. But this video is going to be on blade sharpening. I've got 3, maybe 4 videos already done on this, but I got a new little surprise. I went to the store, and these are not easy to find. These little blade balancers. In the past, if you watch my other 3 videos, you'll see that I didn't use a little balancer like this with a little bobble top. I used basically a socket or an extension or a flat metal surface. You stick that down on a flat surface and you put your blade on there and you teeter-totter it, and that's how you balance it. Very short, very easy, very simple. It's usually free if you have them at your house, those things that I described. But I'm going to take it up a step a little bit further. I went to Tractor Supply and Northern Tool. Everybody's out of these little balancers. And go figure, big town, big state, Texas, everybody's moving here. There's all kinds of stores. Nope, can't buy this stuff. But I was able to find one at the Tractor Supply, and they're about 30, 40 minutes away, so you gotta drive. And I didn't have any idea. Let me show you what the little, if you go on their website, you can see, here's the little container or the little, whatever you call that it came in. Someone will get angry and go, that's what it is, you're an idiot, sell your tools. You just can't make anybody happy online or on YouTube or social media. But what comes in that package is the little balancer, and come to see it's freaking plastic. The one from Northern Tool is cheap, but it's metal. So it, reviews on this, everyone said it was actually really good and it worked. I guess as long as you don't throw it around your shop, it'll last for as long as you take care of it. But it also comes with which the other ones don't, it comes with this mower blade sharpening stone. And as you'll see, your blade goes right in there in this portion right here. You put this onto your drill or an air tool, and this spins, and then you put it on your blade. We're gonna do that today, and we're gonna see how well this works to balance my blades. I already just recently sharpened the blade on this like 3 days ago. I haven't even mowed with it yet, but I used my old technique where I teeter-totter it on the table and balance it that way, which is probably, a lot of people say you can make it very accurate, but I did it quickly. So we're gonna take the blade off this, and I had a subscriber or just a viewer maybe about 4 or 5 days ago. That's why I took the blade off. They asked which way does the nut turn. They were having difficulty getting the nut off of their blade to remove the blade. And I came out here and I was like, man, I can't remember. So it's righty, tight, left, loosen. So very normal. Some of the mowers are reversed. It's backwards. So I could see the confusion. But let me just tell you real quick, this is a lifesaver. And in a couple of those videos, this is an impact driver. A subscriber or a viewer just in general was like, man, you need to get yourself an impact gun or an electric impact driver. And I was like, I have one of those. I just don't use it very often. So this is a Matco Tools, very expensive. I got a really good, basically given to me from a friend. And this allows you to remove or tighten the bolt on your blade without bracing it or holding it or having any difficulties. You just stand it up on its back and go and undo it or put it on. It's so simple. You really need one of these. You can go Home Depot, Lowe's, their brands, they have these. They wouldn't be nearly as expensive. This is like probably $400, but you can probably get them under $100. I know that's still expensive. But let's put this mower up, and one thing I was going to do is I'm going to see how well I balanced it with my teeter-totter method on this new balancer. And so we're going to see what a good job. I have no idea. I have never done it before. So we're going to put this back in its stow position. Super easy to do. A lot of people buy this mower, the Recycler Max or the Recycler. I think the Recycler does it too, just for this stow feature, quick stow, and it allows you to easily work on your mower underneath. Put it back just like that, you're ready to go. Can't do that with regular mowers because you'll flood the engine and you'll have oil and gas coming out over everything. So this is a neat feature of this mower. Let's see if I got the right socket. I do. And I will tell you it is a, oh man, it's so hard to see, a 16 millimeter. But look how easy this comes off with this tool. Let's put it in reverse. Let it do its magic. You don't have to brace it or anything, as I mentioned before. It just comes off super, super easy. So you can see I sharpened it already. But we're gonna sharpen it again with that little stone, the quick sharpening stone that came in the little balancer kit from the Tractor Supply store. Local store here for farm and feed and tools and things of that nature. But let's see how well I did on balancing this blade 4 days ago, doing it with a kind of a half-assed job. I'll just say that. All right, whoa, that's a pretty small hole. I thought they were bigger than that, but luckily this should fit. Let's see what kind of balance job I did. Well, it's just probably a little heavy on this side, but that's not bad. Right here you see I did a fairly good job. This is higher on this side over here. This is lower, so a little bit of extra meat can be taken off this side. You just want to get this kind of straight across balanced. Other than that, I think it's pretty good, but we're going to go ahead and do that, and I'm just going to use my table grinder or table sander. You've seen that in the past videos, but we're going to go ahead and do that. I took a little bit of weight off this side right here. It still could probably be just a tad bit more. Let's go ahead and do that. All right, look at that. That is pretty easy to do and pretty well balanced right there. That is, I would say, close to perfect balance. So this is actually pretty cool. It's a lot easier to use. Just put it on there and watch it balance out. All right, if you make videos, which most of y'all don't make videos, it's like probably only about 5% of people on YouTube make videos, but yep, I make videos, so I get to hear a lot of people's opinions. But sharpening this on a bench grinder or something of that means, you know, with power, I've had one person say, man, you shouldn't do that. You'll overheat your blade and cause temper issues. Well, I guess if you stick this in a furnace and heat it up to 300 degrees, 300 or 400 degrees, or maybe even hotter than that, yeah, you're gonna probably change the temper of the blade. But the little bit of grinding on a electric powered little grinder that you're gonna put an edge on this, or you're gonna reshape it or something, you're not going to get this up to 300 or 400 degrees and change the temper of your blade. You know, whatever you want to do. If you want to use a hand file, I have one of those. You want to put this in the vise and you want to hand file that because you think it's not going to, you know, get hot and change the temper. I mean, yeah, it sounds great. Go ahead and do that if you want. But if you have modern electric equipment, you should be able to do it a lot faster, a lot easier, and save time and money. And so there we go. There's a couple different options that you can do. There's always many ways to skin a cat, and that's terrible to say because I have a cat now. All right, one aspect that I didn't do, which I could do, but I have worn out my little metal brush, is you can go in and remove, there's just some really mild surface grass coating on that. It's pretty equal on both sides, but you could go in and really scrub this blade perfectly where it's just nothing but metal, and that maybe give you a little bit more accurate balance in case you have more on one side than the other, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. But we're going to put this in my little cheapy 15-year-old Sears vise right here, and we're going to sharpen this blade up using the little sharpening stone that came in that kit. And I'll tell you, that kit right here, a little sharpening balancer stone, the sharpening stone balancer little package, and it's named, the maker of that is called Arnold, and it was like $17 with tax. And so the one at Northern Tools is like $11.99, so it's a little bit cheaper, but I drove like almost an hour back and forth to get this, so I was like, I'm just gonna go ahead and get this. All right, so we're gonna put the sharpener blade, lawnmower blade sharpener into my drill, just a regular drill. This drill is like 13 years old from Sears Craftsman. It's battery powered. It still runs well and functions well. It just doesn't last that long, but I got hopefully a full charge on it. So what we're gonna do is let me clarify here, the angle is going this direction. So you're going to obviously look at the stone and look at the angle of the stone. So obviously it goes just like this right here. And I'm gonna put that on high, sorry there. And you're just gonna run that along the edge right there. Oh, and I'm gonna have to rebalance it after I do this because this is gonna throw it out of balance. But I just wanted to do the balance first to see how well I did, you know, with my old technique. But now I don't have to do that. So you just hold it pretty much perpendicular, straight up and down, and just fire it up. Make sure you got your blade and your vise tight. This is a rinky-dink vise that I have, but it's what I have. Depending on the bevel that you have on your mower blade already, you might have to do that. I read the reviews on this and they say this stone doesn't last very long. It's really kind of cheap. I mean, it just depends on how long your blades are and how many blades you're sharpening. But in general, people said this lasts about 7 or 8 blades, and then the stone's pretty worthless after that. But I had a pretty decent edge on from my sharpening before, but we're gonna go ahead and continue to do this. All right, I think it works pretty good. You're just gonna want to put a little bit of pressure down as you're going through it, so it, you know, grind some of the metal off, and then when you get to the edge, you just want to be careful so that you, yeah, it's sharp, so that you don't roll off that, so you don't roll off that edge and create a rounded end right there. But I think it works pretty good. We'll just do the other side, and I'll spare you that on video, and we'll just put it back or on the balancer and rebalance it. I'm just moving out a little bit more to get a little bit better light, but you can see, it's going to just be difficult for you to see. But what that does is it puts a very straight edge, and I would probably say that it is at about a 40-degree angle, maybe 35, 40-degree angle. And it just makes it really consistent and really easy just running that drill up and down like that. This side looks a little better because of the crappy, now what I see a little bit more crappy sharpening job that I did last time. But look at that. They're sharp, but I'm gonna go one more step and to make sure they're sharp. All right, this is my tabletop little sander right here, and I just recommend on the back side of the blade, because you can feel there's a little bit of a burr on the back side. Just run this on the back side and just do that real lightly and tame that opposite edge side up, get rid of that burr. Or if you just wanna do it old school, you can do that too with your file, very easy. Just don't get too technical. You can just run your file. Run your file like that on the back side. Right there. That's the front side of the blade. And now you got a very sharp, blade that's gonna cut through the grass. All right, hopefully you've stuck around with me this long on the video, but there really is, I'm just gonna go into, there's really no reason to get this where it cuts paper. As soon as you put this on, man, I nicked my, oh shit. I sliced my thumb open right there from one side to the other. Didn't even recognize that I did that. Ooh, ouch. There's no reason to get this so sharp that it cuts paper, because as soon as you put it on your mower and you go cut some of the grass, it's gonna dull that edge so quickly. You just wanna put a pretty decent, a pretty acute angle, or just a good solid sharp point on there. I don't know how else to say that, but I'm sure it's totally out of balance now. Let's put it back on the balancer. All right, not too bad. Probably just take a little off on this side. I'm gonna go ahead and do that, a little bit off. Now look, pretty much perfect. That is a balanced blade. Ow, that hurt my, oh, ay. See that? All right, now putting it back on the mower is pretty easy. If you just paid attention while you were taking it off, the mower blade is going to follow the curve of the crankshaft mounting spot right there. This has a little bit of a upside down U curve to it. There's the upside down U curve in the blade. Just put it on so that it matches back up. Screw it in, get it tight, and just check real quick so that it's not mounted on there wobbly. So just make sure this is all, hand tighten it, make sure it fits on there well. Then just use your impact gun. Make sure it's rotating in the right direction, righty-tighty. Just do it until it pretty much a couple of seconds rotates, and then it stops. Should be good. Now we're gonna go cut with it and see how well it cuts. I gotta be really careful because these bees have gotten even more aggressive and they're probably gonna sting me right now. I've even tried to put on a little flap there to keep them from going in. They just lifted it up and go in there, so they're getting really aggressive. So I can't even mow over there. They'll bite me on my head. It makes me sick. It puts me out a couple of days, and I get sores and I get swollen. And it's just bad news being bit by 5 or 6 bees. Just only can imagine being bit by 30 or 40 bees. So we're gonna come over here and just mow this little strip right here. Seems well balanced. That's a start. I will say this mower, for the year and a little bit over the year that I've had it, this mower starts on every first pull. It is very, very easy to start. I think it has some electronics or something that makes it really an easy pull, easy start. It's not called that, but it just is so easy. It just, you know, younger people and women, you know, with less stature and less strength, should be able to pull this with no problem. But it's always the first pull, and people with their Honda say first pull, it starts every time. This starts every single time, first pull. All right, just want to say thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you found this informative, helpful, entertaining at least. That's just why I want to make videos. I probably make a couple of dollars off this video in 2 years, probably $2 or $3, $4. So it's not an incentive to make videos because I'm monetized, but it's just to share and make videos and have fun. So again, thanks for tuning in. I have 30 videos on this mower specifically, and probably 25 videos on my Echo 190cc gas mower. I have plenty of videos for you to watch, so go watch those videos if you have questions or you want to see more content. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great day. Bye-bye. This is Brian checking out.